with Pakistan. You have no history of cricket. But Rajiv Shukla says, we agree with the ICC. We cannot comment on what the ICC is doing. And then he says, BCCI has nothing to do with what Shehbaz Sharif is saying. Well, let me tell you, the ICC has given in to Pakistan. And I feel bad. This fellow, Sanjog Gupta, who is the ICC CEO, earlier was a TV executive, ladies and gentlemen, in the same company. Now, this man, Sanjog Gupta, puts out a statement trying to placate Pakistan, trying to placate Bangladesh. And now they are sitting on the negotiating table with Pakistan. They didn't put any fine on Pakistan for all its tantrums. They gave in. This man, Sanjog Gupta, a simple paid executive, he has given in to the demand of hosting further matches in Bangladesh. So he's compromised India, directly or indirectly. And I'm saying, who the hell is he to do that? Who allowed him to do that? Even the demand that Bangladesh must receive its full ICC revenue share has been agreed to, even when Bangladesh did not play the game. So Bangladesh used Pakistan as a linchpin.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Right, welcome friends to the Sunday edition of This Is Exclusive. Maharashtra ATS has busted a big sleeper cell which could have possibly turned into a terror module and thus saved the people of Maharashtra and perhaps the country from a big terrorist strike happening. That's our focus, apart from some exclusive pictures coming in from Dehradun of yet another instance of civic apathy leading to poison coming in tap water. That's our focus. Let's begin with the headlines. Maharashtra ATS raids 21 sites in Yavatmal, Ahilyanagar targeting extremist activity. Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar sparks major row with Azadi and anti-Brahminism slogans at the JNU public meeting.
यूरोपियन यूनियन, इंग्लैंड, इसके साथ हुए जो FTA और अमेरिका के साथ हुई ट्रेड डील, ये दोनों के माध्यम से मोदी जी ने किसानों के हित को नुकसान पहुंचाया। मैं राहुल गांधी जी को चैलेंज देना चाहता हूं, किसी भी मंच तय कर लो, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का युवा मोर्चे का अध्यक्ष आकर आपसे चर्चा कर लेगा नुकसान किसने किया।
Home Minister Amit Shah rebuts Rahul Gandhi over US trade deal, says the FTA fully protects farmers. Sterilization camp at Community Health Centre in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar comes under scrutiny after reports of 175 tribal women operated on a single lay under alleged unsafe and inadequate conditions. Controversy over Tipu Sultan's picture escalates as AIMIM chief Owaisi defends the move, saying Tipu fought against the British. All right, friends, let's begin some exclusive inputs coming in on the Maharashtra ATS anti-terror raids story. In a major intelligence-based operation, Mumbai security agencies have cracked down on individuals allegedly in touch with terror groups who were actively working to radicalize youth and lead to terror activities. By them, sources say handlers based in Pakistan had been on the radar for some time, with technical surveillance playing a crucial role in tracking communication and mapping the network. Acting on precise inputs, as many as 20 ATS teams were deployed in a coordinated swoop-down operation, leading to a significant breakthrough and the busting of a suspected sleeper cell. Arrests are expected shortly, with officials describing the operation as a major success in preventing potential threats and dismantling a growing radicalization module. All right, we have a reporter live with more specific inputs, exclusive information on this. Let's go to Lilawati live from Mumbai. And Lilawati, 20 teams, major swoop down in 2 districts of Maharashtra by the ATS, a big sleeper cell busted. How soon we are going to hear about arrests made by the agencies in this operation?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that after Pune ISIS module and of course other big raids that have been carried out by the ATS, this is one of the biggest raids that has been carried out by the Anti-Terrorist Squad in Maharashtra in 2 different districts, in Yavatmal and in Ahilyanagar. Various 21 locations were raided by the Anti-Terrorist Squad, and the information that is coming in right now, it says that various documents, various laptops, various cameras, various footages have been recovered by the Anti-Terrorist Squad, as this raid is going since midnight and there has been heavy police deployment at these various 21 locations. Also, the information that is coming in right now is that around 14 suspects are being interrogated right now, and there's a huge possibility that they have a connection to the some terrorist organization, and some of them might be playing a role of sleeper cell. So once the ATS gives an official statement about what exactly or for what this raid was conducted, it will be more clear that why this raid happened. Over to you.
Absolutely. And we will bring to you that update, friends, as soon as Lilawati gets it. But this major pre-dawn operation that Maharashtra ATS carried out, we have pieced together all the details of the 21 locations across Yavatmal and Ahilyanagar districts where this took place. So let's have a look at the details.
In a major pre-dawn operation, the Maharashtra's ATS fanned out across 21 locations in Yavatmal and Ahilyanagar districts.
Major ATS raids are being carried out today in Maharashtra's Yavatmal districts. Around 21 locations were raided by the Anti-Terrorist Squad today in Yavatmal district of Maharashtra. Also, Ahilyanagar's 12 different locations were raided today. This is the biggest ATS raid after Islam's arrest in the connection of running a conversion racket in UP. These are the various locations where ATS raided in Umarkhed, Pusad and other districts of Yavatmal, as well as other 12 locations were raided by the ATS in Ahilyanagar district of Maharashtra.
Operation comes months after Uttar Pradesh ATS and Maharashtra ATS arrested Islam from Nagpur in January. Islam, the same man who allegedly involved in managing funds and logistics for an alleged religious conversion racket in UP. Even in the Pune case that involves the angle of radicalization activities, Maharashtra ATS played key role in high-profile Pune ISIS module investigation. The arrested accused in Pune allegedly involved in radicalization recruitment activities as part of a larger conspiracy. Now, acting on the intelligence inputs, ATS teams launched coordinated searches across 21 locations, 14 in the Pusad and Umarkhed areas of Yavatmal district. ATS teams are once again focusing on digital evidence, financial trails and possible communication links to dismantle any sort of radicalization networks operating within the state.
Many electronic goods were seized today, and also they were objectionable because many extremist documentation and other elements were received by the ATS. Around 14 suspects have also been detained for a thorough investigation. According to the official statement given by the Anti-Terrorist Squad, it says that many objectionable goods like laptops, mobile phones, CCTVs and others are being recovered.
Several suspects are reportedly being questioned. However, officials have not yet confirmed any fresh arrests or seizures. A proactive stance of ATS, a major reason for safety and security within Indian frontiers.
All right, just weeks after the alarming water contamination incident in Indore, a similar health scare is now unfolding in Uttarakhand and its capital Dehradun. Local residents have alleged that contaminated drinking water mixed with sewage has led to a surge in stomach infections, vomiting and diarrhea, with several people reportedly hospitalized. The big questions remain. Has the water supply been tested? Has the pipeline network been inspected? And why are residents still being forced to consume unsafe water? Look at this exclusive ground report filed by Ratan Negi, and then he joins live me on the other side.
In a rerun of the Indore water contamination, a similar looking healthcare crisis appears to be triggering panic among people in Uttarakhand. Several residents from Uttarakhand's Chukhu Mohalla have alleged that they are forced to consume contaminated drinking water mixed with human excreta and raw sewage that has left dozens hospitalized.
ये जहरीला पानी है और लोग सीधा लोगों के जीवन से खिलवाड़ है। जल विभाग द्वारा तो जनता को सहयोग दिया गया, परंतु इसमें हम देखें सीवरेज विभाग के जो आला अधिकारी थे उनके द्वारा बिल्कुल सहयोग नहीं दिया गया और वो लोगों के स्वास्थ्य से खेलते रहे, खिलवाड़ करते रहे। जैसे कि कहना है कि देहरादून स्मार्ट सिटी बनाया जा रहा है, वह स्वागत योग्य कदम है, परंतु ऐसा स्वास्थ्य स्मार्ट सिटी नहीं चाहिए जहां लोगों के जीवन से खिलवाड़।
कैसा पानी पीने को मजबूर है आप यहाँ पर चक्कर लगाने की बात
कहें तो धार्मिक आस्था भी प्रभावित हुई है। मल मूत्र जो है मिल के पाइपलाइन से वो जो है लोगों के पानी में गया।
सर बहुत गंदा पानी आता है, काफ़ी दिनों से मतलब ये भैया बहुत सपोर्ट करते हैं पानी के लिए। सीसी में भर के भी ले जाते हैं बिल्कुल उसमें, जैसे मतलब क्षेत्र टाइप के पीला एकदम पानी आता है। भी परसों भी आए थे वीडियो वाले आप लोग, न्यूज़ ले गए।
कैसा पानी आ रहा है, मतलब क्या है उसमें, क्या मिलावट नजर आती है?
मतलब जैसे कि बहुत स्मेल पॉटी की जैसे बहुत स्मेल आया करता है और ये भैया काफ़ी कंप्लेन लेके जाते हैं, बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट करते हैं मोहल्ले में।
A strong stench in the water, visible dirt in utensils and people forced to drink the same water. This is a picture from the heart of the state capital. This has caused a spike in cases of stomach infections, vomiting and diarrhea.
यहाँ पे पानी बहुत ही गंदा आया है, करीबन 1-1.5 महीना हो गया। जैसे कान नीचे हुआ है ऐसे मुझे लगता है यहाँ भी कोई मरेगा तभी प्रशासन की आंखें खुलेंगी। सबको जेई वगैरह सबको आए थे, सबको इतला दे दी थी मगर कोई सुनने वाला नहीं।
कैसा पानी देखने को मिल रहा है आपको?
पीला जैसे बाथरूम का होता है ऐसा पानी, लैट्रिन सीवर का जैसे आता है ये आता है। इतनी दुर्गंध है पानी में कि आदमी जो है कि खड़ा नहीं हो सकता, पी नहीं सकता उसे। कैसे पिए, बच्चे छोटे छोटे।
तो शिकायत करी आपने? बोला लोग
शिकायत करा, सबको जो है कि इतला दी हुई है, नगर निगम वाटर वर्क सबको इतला दे रखी और आए भी थे, कुछ बड़े गड्ढे खोदे और चले गए और कुछ नहीं हुआ।
यहाँ का विधायक
जो है पार्षद जो है कुछ नहीं करते।
The question is, what is the responsible department doing so far? Has the pipeline been inspected? Has the purity of the water source been confirmed or not?
All right, Ratan Negi, in fact, joins us live from Dehradun for more on this. Ratan, कितने लोग प्रभावित हैं इस घटना से, जिसमें हम देख रहे हैं कि इंदौर की तरह, गांधीनगर की तरह, बेंगलुरु की तरह देहरादून में भी कंटामिनेटेड पानी पाइपलाइन सप्लाई में आ रहा है और वही तरीके से कि पाइप बस्ट हुआ और जो सीवेज का पानी है वो मिक्स हो गया। कितने लोग प्रभावित हुए और सरकार का क्या रवैया है?
देखिए, राजधानी देहरादून के घंटाघर से मात्र आधा किलोमीटर की दूरी पर चुक्कू मोहल्ला आता है और ये मोहल्ले के जो लोग हैं, जो निवासी है, ये वोट देने जाते हैं, इनके पास राशन कार्ड है, वोटर कार्ड है, वोट देने जाते हैं, अपने वोट का सदुपयोग करते हैं, लेकिन आज ही इनका कहना है कि हम जहरीला पानी पी रहे हैं। इनको वो पानी पीने को मिल रहा है जिसमें सीवरेज का पानी साफ तौर पर आ रहा है, जैसे कि उन्होंने बयान दिया है। उन्होंने कहा पानी नहीं, जहर पी रहे हैं। एक व्यक्ति वो कैंसर पीड़ित है, वो कह रहा है कि साहब क्या करूं, मैं क्या करूं, मैं बीमार हूं, उसके बावजूद मुझे पानी पीना पड़ रहा है। अगर बात की जाए राजपुर विधानसभा क्षेत्र का, ये पूरा प्रकरण है और यहाँ के भाजपा के जो विधायक खजान दास की विधानसभा है, लेकिन शायद जनता से उनको सरोकार नहीं, पार्षद को सरोकार नहीं। जल संस्थान वहां पर जाता है, खाना पूर्ति करके आ जाता है। दरअसल में जो पूरा इलाका है, यहाँ पर बहुत सालों साल से पानी के पाइप से वो बदले नहीं गए हैं और सीवरेज जो है वो लगातार सीवरेज के जो बड़े बड़े गड्ढे हैं, वो वहां पर एक मुसीबत वहां पर बने हुए हैं और वो पानी की पाइपिंग के अंदर वो जा रहा है, क्योंकि वो जो पाइप है पानी की वो बंद है। इस वजह से ये एक हादसा हुआ है। लगभग दर्जन भर जो लोग हैं वो अस्पताल में बीमार रहे हैं। किसी का 80,000, किसी का 90,000 तक का इलाज भी यहाँ पर चला है। वो बीमार है, उनका साफ तौर पर कहना है कि क्या यहाँ का विधायक है, यहाँ का प्रशासन ये चाहता है कि भैया हमारा भी इंदौर जैसा हालात हो जाए, जब किसी की जान जाएगी क्या तब यहाँ पर सच प्रशासन जागेगा। इस तरह के बयान चुक्कू मोहल्ला से निकले हैं और महज राजधानी देहरादून के घंटाघर से आधा किलोमीटर दूरी की ये दूरी है। जी
बिल्कुल, right there in the state capital this happening. Thank you so much, Ratan. We will, of course, continue to follow up on this so that people get some reprieve and the government responds. But moving on for now, coming to New Delhi, where as India gears up to host the much-anticipated AI Impact Summit in the national capital, starting Monday, that's tomorrow. Preparations are in full swing. The New Delhi Municipal Council has activated its high-tech command center to ensure seamless coordination, real-time monitoring and top-notch arrangements in the area where there would be tremendous amount of VVIP movement, from sanitation and traffic movement to security and beautification, everything there in this report filed by our correspondent from the control room, the master control room from where this is being monitored.
India is hosting AI Impact Summit 2026 from February 16 till February 20. This is the first major summit hosted by the Global South. So NDMC is working tirelessly round the clock to 24 surveillance area and with its well-equipped state-of-art facility, which is Command Center. Today joining us live, Kuljit Singh Chahal, who is the Vice Chairman of the NDMC. Sir, how many cameras are there in this area?
This is the integrated command control center which was used at the time of G20 summit also. Yeah. This is the control room, central control room for the AI summit for our air. Total 333 NDMC cameras are there from where we have control everything like this. This is the main screen. Can you show all the cameras please? This is the main screen from where we control. This is the main in the total area. We have 183 feeds of the Delhi police also and near about surrounding area of the PWD also. So what we do exchange our issues all. Like if some traffic complaint and traffic being received, we share them with our hotline. So we issue that thing also. Otherwise, the more issue what we control here, sanitation. We have GPS tracking system on all our vehicles like mechanized sweeping, jet sweeping, solid waste management, that all controlled from GPS system. From a different team are sitting here which are working on different points. All this team, they work like this is one of the camera which will show screen which will show here everything. This guy is sitting here and he's tracking everything. These are the points, location where the camera is being displayed. Some issues which today like we got near about 36 complaints and they are resolved by time-bound manner. And in a time-bound manner, we got the complaint from 311 app also. And this is a monitor system also. With this camera system, we have total number of beans, total hot beans, total UG beans, total location, how we are displayed, collected beans. This is a lifetime data. Okay. All these things are under one roof. And like AI Summit, which is a power system, and when AI Summit is showing the power of the country in the leadership of Honorable PM, here we are providing best thing. From here we are controlling our every facilities, like we are doing the best lighting also these days. We are providing best horticulture also. Flower boards will be there. So the team NDMC as a whole, is doing one thing, that we are the best.
All right, we in fact have a breaking news coming in on the JNU campus sloganeering issue just in a bit. Exclusive information that the Proctor's car was attacked by these protesters, Proctor of the JNU. But before that, let's take a look at what happened. The JNU campus had its former student, but presently Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar visiting, but again indulging with the same Azadi slogans yet again, and playing doubly and participating in that protest, because apparently some JNU SU, that is Student Union students or leaders, have been suspended or rusticated for carrying out vandalism in the library. Now, why should Kanhaiya Kumar be supporting vandals is the question. Take a look.
Congress leader and former JNUSU President Kanhaiya Kumar sparked fresh controversy after raising Azadi slogans at a public meeting inside the JNU campus. Holding a duffly, Kumar led chants that included Brahmanvad se Azadi. The meeting was reportedly organized to protest the suspension of JNUSU officials accused of vandalizing a biometric attendance system inside the university library.
लेफ्ट वालों का जो रस्टिकेशन हुआ है उसके विरुद्ध ये वामपंथी संगठनों ने कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया था, और उसके अंतर्गत जो जितने भी पुराने नक्सली यहाँ रहे हैं, वामपंथी यहाँ रहे हैं, उन सबको इकट्ठा किया था। और इनको विरोध करना चाहिए सीपीओ मैनुअल का, जिसके कारण से यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट जो है रस्टिकेट हो रहे हैं, लाखों रुपए का फाइन लगाया जा रहा है, उसका विरोध करना चाहिए। लेकिन ये केवल अपनी राजनीति के लिए, अपने आकाओं को खुश करने के लिए ये लोग राजनीति कर रहे हैं, जबकि सीपीओ मैनुअल से न जाने कितने छात्र प्रताड़ित हो रहे हैं।
एजेंडा ही समाज को बांट के चलने का है, तभी ये अपनी अपीजमेंट या वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स कर पाएंगे। और वहीं दूसरी तरफ विद्यार्थी परिषद है जो सीपीओ मैनुअल के खिलाफ लड़ते हुए अब तक उस पर 4,83,000 रुपए का अब तक फाइन आ चुका है। 90 से ज़्यादा कार्यकर्ताओं के ऊपर प्रोक्टोरियल इंक्वायरी बैठी है और 10 से ज़्यादा कार्यकर्ताओं को सेमेस्टर रजिस्ट्रेशन में रोका गया।
The resurfacing of Azadi slogans at JNU has once again reignited a familiar political flashpoint. So far, the Congress party has not issued an official statement regarding Kumar's participation in the demonstration. A revival of divisive campus politics, the latest episode at JNU has once again placed Kanhaiya Kumar at the heart of the political storm.
All right, in Madhya Pradesh, where the government claims to be strengthening healthcare in tribal areas, shocking visuals from Dhar district tell a very different story. At a sterilization camp in Bagh, more than 175 tribal women were allegedly operated upon without basic facilities. The images raise disturbing questions about medical ethics, accountability, and humanity itself. Let's get a better glimpse into this story from Dhar, Madhya Pradesh.
These are not scenes from a disaster zone. This is a government sterilization camp in Bagh, a tribal area of Dhar district in Madhya Pradesh. Nearly 180 tribal women arrived at the community health center on Friday, many with children and relatives for family planning procedures. But what awaited them? No proper seating, no adequate drinking water, and after surgery, even no beds. Women who had just undergone sterilization were left lying on the floor, some in contaminated water, others under the scorching sun, women being treated worse than cattle.
गांव के भाई उनको लेके आए पेशेंट को।
कितनी बजे आ गए थे यहाँ?
सर 8 साढ़े 8 बजे तक आ गए थे।
कितने बजे शुरू हुआ यहाँ पर ये शिविर?
ये तो चल ही रहा सर, आए तब से चल ही रहा, पर धीरे धीरे वो तो बहुत सारे बाई होने है तो टाइम तो लग ही रहा।
जो नीचे लेटी है महिलाएं परेशान हो रही है, गर्मी लग रही है, टेंट भी लगा।
हाँ वो तो नहीं मिल रही है, नहीं मिल रही है, तो सुविधा पूरी नहीं मिल रही।
पीने का पानी की क्या व्यवस्था है?
नहीं, पानी भी अभी खत्म हो गया, 2 ड्रम लाए थे तो खत्म हो गया, अभी नहीं।
Family members could be seen fanning them with pieces of cloth as women writhed in pain. But the most shocking revelation here lies in the numbers. A single private doctor, Dr. Rakesh Dawar, reportedly arrived at 3 p.m. and was assigned nearly 180 sterilization procedures. Hospital officials claimed one sterilization was being completed in just 2 minutes. The time, just 2 minutes.
सर डॉक्टर बड़वाने से बुलवाया है, डॉक्टर राकेश डावर। ये सर्जन है, 2 मिनट में एक ऑपरेशन कर देते हैं। तो हमारे 175 केस है, कम से कम 3-3.5 घंटे में पूरा कर देंगे।
इसके पहले क्या क्या जांचें करेंगे?
इसके पहले हमने जांच कराई, प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट करवाया, बीपी लिया, खून की जांच करवाई, शुगर बीपी दोनों करवाया। फिर उसके बाद महिला को वहाँ ऑपरेशन के लिए भेजा। वहाँ पे महिला को इंजेक्शन लगता है टेस्ट के लिए।
Adding to the controversy, the Chief Block Medical Officer Dr. Veer Bahadur Singh Mawal was not even present at the camp. He reportedly arrived only after learning that the media had reached the center and he claimed that he was attending a meeting.
175 के आसपास हुए केस हमारे पास अभी टोटल। वो क्या होता है कि कि हर हफ्ते मेरे पास सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं हो पाती, इसीलिए वही लोग अगर इकट्ठे आते तो फिर इकट्ठे करवाना पड़ते हैं। सर्जन मेरे पास जो डॉक्टर डावर आते हैं वो बड़वानी से आते हैं, तो इसलिए हमें सर्जन की प्रॉब्लम्स आती है हमेशा। तो और ये लोग क्या है कि अब गर्मी का सीज़न आ जाएगा, गर्मी के बाद केसेस हो भी नहीं पाएंगे, इसलिए हम इकट्ठे करते हैं।
जिले में सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है क्या सर?
सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी है, लेकिन क्या होता है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट से लंबा पड़ता है ना, इतनी दूर सर्जन आते नहीं। ये क्या है कि LTD कैम्प करने के लिए प्राइवेट हायर करते हैं हम लोग सर्जन से। ये भी जैसे गवर्नमेंट सर्जन नहीं, हमारे पास प्राइवेट सर्जन हायर करने पड़ते हैं, पे ऑफ करके इनको बुलाया जाता है।
After the issue surfaced, Chief Medical Health Officer termed the violations illegal. The block medical officer has been attached to the district headquarters and further action, officials say, will follow as per rules. And the larger question remains, when healthcare becomes a number game and surgeries are reduced to speed targets, who takes the responsibility of putting people's lives at risk?
All right, friends, so we're getting a breaking news development in connection with the Lilawati scam or the involvement of former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh in it. And in fact, that one of the trustees, Rajiv Mehta, has spoken to Republic in an exclusive conversation. He has given details of how Parambir Singh was a habitual extortionist and abused his position to perhaps take kickbacks, because he advanced payments made to various vendors. And we have Rajiv Mehta speaking on this. Let's listen to him.
Singh and in concert with Rajesh Mehta, Preeti Patil, Shubham and a few others have conspired and successfully fooled the law and looted a public charitable trust. In fact, it's ironical that Parambir Singh and Rajesh Mehta, who is a permanent trustee, have filed false and frivolous complaints in various fora of mismanagement in the Bandra police, with the charity commissioner and other fora, when actually they are the perpetrators to the crime. Rajesh Mehta with Parambir Singh have conducted huge financial irregularities with Preeti Patil and with Shubham and the ex-CFO, Mr. Newton Mosquita. It's very sad that these bogus complaints are filed. probably they think we are living in a banana republic where they can fool the...
All right, in fact, Revati, who spoke to Mehta, is live with us. Revati, it's clear that Parambir Singh did something which has so annoyed the trustees that they are coming out and making these very specific charges against the former Mumbai Police Commissioner. You think they have evidence to back up their attack on Parambir Singh on this very serious charge they are making, that he was a habitual extortionist? Are they saying that Parambir Singh indulged in a scam while at Lilawati Hospital?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that they have always been saying this, that Parambir Singh is a habitual extortionist. And mind you, we have the evidences that trustees have been constantly claiming. So there's one document, also a letter, also an email sent to the current CFO of the Lilawati Hospital, saying that it has been observed that substantial advances, that is rupees 33.83 crores, I'll repeat it, 33.83 crores are pending from April 2025 onwards as on date and were paid for various operational and capital requirements, pharmacy supplies and surgical consumables. So this is one of the letter, but to substantiate this also, Republic has the official ledger of the payments which is made to the vendors, and yet, mind you, it is 2026, the goods haven't been received. Also, it is mentioned in Parambir Singh's contract that he has to meet all the HODs and he has to make sure that this function is run smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is in fact comprehensively documented by the Lilawati management and the trustees, and that's why they are now coming out and making that specific charge against Parambir Singh. More on that tomorrow. But for now, we come to an end of this bulletin. Short break coming up on the other side. Live and breaking.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over...
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
After the success of day one, BKC came alive once again as LIBF Expo 2026 continued to connect leaders, businesses, and global ambitions.
Jay will be asking on something which is more on the development side, more on the professional side, and I will ask you something more on the personal side. How difficult is it to hold this crown on your head as the municipal commissioner and face all these complex challenges which I know you face day in and day out? But one thing I have seen about you is that I have never seen you get angry. So, मेरा सवाल है कि भूषण गगरानी को गुस्सा क्यों नहीं आता?
I have been married for last 35 years. More than that, what else can I say? Yes, Mumbai city, as initially I mentioned, is a very diverse, and it's not only diverse in terms of events or in terms of happenings in the city. Many times it is very unpredictable. So I think a simple answer to your question is that first of all, we are trained to face this situation. Yes, it's a challenging situation, but I must admit, confess that we work in a particular framework, which is democratic political framework. And if your orientation and your approach is adequately calibrated towards the challenges, opportunities, strengths and weaknesses of this system, and you appreciate that thing, then I think your vision will be very, very clear and you will be able to work comfortably.
With so many departments and so many people to handle and such complex issues to handle, but there is always something which misses out, and therefore there is more brickbats than bouquets. Now, how does one keep your staff and all these people motivated despite all these brickbats?
Vijay ji, you are also proud citizen of Mumbai. Many of us are. You may love BMC, you may hate BMC, but you cannot ignore BMC. It touches to your everyday life. The moment you born in the city, you will get the birth certificate from BMC. And the moment of your departure from this mundane world, you will get the death certificates from Mumbai. So between these two certificates, whatever services are provided, knowingly, unknowingly for the people, I think this covers the entire bandwidth. Whether it's a mobility, whether it's a water supply, whether it's a sanitation, whether it's a public open spaces. BMC is the only organization which runs 5 medical colleges. BMC is the only organization which has 4 own water supply dams. So the canvas is very huge.
Sir, you just mentioned Mumbai's expectation, and we have few developers who are into redevelopment in Mumbai from our community. And sir, redevelopment is critical to Mumbai's future. And how is BMC simplifying faster, safer and more transparent redevelopment? Sir, can you throw some lights on?
Jay, you yourself, I think, into this business. There are a lot of टक्कर जी है, उन्होंने सुबह अभी बताया. Redevelopment in Mumbai because of the nature of Mumbai's land-related issues and legacy issues is very complex. Land always remained a very contested over the years. Little departure, but couple of interesting facts. How Mumbai's entire development and of course real estate is closely linked with land. Of course, real estate and land, I did not elaborate the relationship between two of them. I am delighted here to make a note that whatever investment various government agencies are doing into infrastructure development and public sector investments, whether it's roads, bridges, metros, and various other, the entire investment, if it is not reciprocated by private sector, this investment will become a sunk investment. But in Mumbai, all these developers are reciprocating that investment in the form of redevelopment or otherwise. So I think public sector and private sector is working in tandem to that extent. So to make Mumbai more livable, certain amount of public collective consciousness is to be created. Whenever a person from any place of India comes to Mumbai, from anywhere, he is very impressed with the civic sense of Mumbai. And whenever we go out and come back to Mumbai, we get very disappointed by the civic sense of our city.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your time, clarity of thoughts, and deep commitment to the Mumbai's future. And thank you once again for being with us today, sir. Thank you.
We would like to request Mr. Vijay Karya, sir, to felicitate our today's chief guest, Mr. Bhushan Gagrani, sir.
Many professionals want to service markets like Australia and other international hubs. But their biggest doubt is what can realistically be done from India and when is on-ground presence actually required. So my question to you is, when servicing clients in markets like Australia or other international hubs, what exact type of work can realistically be delivered from India? And what kind of work usually requires on-ground presence or local alliances? And how should a small or a mid-sized firm structure this execution model practically? You may take an example of country like Australia, sir.
No, I think most of the countries would have, similar way of, bringing business to India for any startups. There are many ways to do it depending on at what level you are starting your business, right? So if a small accounting firm wants to start a business, as my colleagues have mentioned, you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to have a good digital presence, you could go to the expo and try and win the business one-on-one. That's probably one of the best and easiest way to launch yourself. I think the second way and probably more strategic way of doing that is kind of go and see if you can actually do a partnership or JV with any of the practicing accounting firms in UK, US or Australia. So you kind of become their back office to start with, and then obviously you can expand your wings. So that is another way of doing it. The third way, which is even more strategic, is actually now I see there's a huge culture of private equity and VCs in India. I would like to see why Indian chartereds, along with the VCs funds or PE funds, go and start acquiring some of the stakes in foreign CPA firms. That could actually be the more scalable, more fast and more strategic. So these are the three ways of doing the business.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. So that explanation really simplifies international servicing and gives professional a clear picture of how Australia and similar markets can be handled practically from India. Thank you very much, sir. So my next question is to Anand Bhatia, sir. Once professionals start entering international work, the real challenge is not getting opportunities, but scaling them sustainably, right? So CA Anand Bhatia, sir, from your experience, what are some essential skills, mindsets, or capabilities that professionals must imbibe in their professional toolkit while scaling an international cross-border practice?
Yeah, so I think we are taking the discussion forward, as you can see. First, from getting clients, how do you get clients, to now, how do you sustain clients, or how do you make sure that clients remain with you? One feature or one characteristic that we'll have to keep in mind is the softer aspect of culture as well, when you are dealing with international clients. The way that we have been doing in India might not be the same that will happen in some of these geographies, and perhaps each of these geography will have its nuances. Some of the Australian counterparts tell us that every week he receives 10 emails from Indian chartered accountants saying that we'll do at X dollars, X minus $2, X minus $2, and it becomes a pricing game. They don't want pricing beyond a point. They want quality, and they want consistent quality. So he says, I get irritated when I get an email or a LinkedIn request from an Indian chartered accountant saying that please give us work. So we'll have to look at the lens of the culture as well, what works, what does not work, what is working in India might not work there.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. This gives a roadmap to scale internationally and have a proper work cross-border transactions. So now, even when relationships and opportunities are available, many mid-sized Indian firms feel they cannot compete with large global firms in cross-border advisory because of scale, brand, and resources. So my next question to Harshal, sir. One big equalizer today is technology, especially AI, artificial intelligence. Harshal, sir, I would like to take this discussion into a very relevant area. How can AI help mid-sized Indian firms become competitive with big firms in cross-border transaction advisory?
No, so Pratik, I think that's a very, very relevant question that you have, asked. I think for the past 2 to 3 years, including, ICI courses, etc., AI is very, very relevant for all of us. And I believe that all of us would be using AI. I'll give you some practical instances where AI is actually an equalizer, and you don't really need to feel that you are undercompetent when, you look up to your peers which are much larger than you. Some experiences at our firm has been that, as I think Anandji said, when an inquiry comes, don't refuse. So let's say you get an inquiry, I need some, advice on US trust for estate planning. What kind of trust should I, form there for a US green card holder or citizen, or maybe NRI not still holding a US passport? Plethora of options are there, grantor trust, non-grantor trust, then IDGT, intentionally defective grantor trust, etc. So all these concepts that are there, before AI, we had to scavenge Google, search engine, etc., in order to find relevance that, how do I even address this query? So here is where AI comes in. You have plethora of AI tools. You have, Perplexity, you have Gemini, you have ChatGPT, etc. Obviously, hallucination is not something that you can run away from. That is going to be there, but at least an initial response and an immediate initial response. You can't take weeks to respond to a basic query. That is where AI comes in. You can do your entire research on AI. I at least tell my staff, please use AI to improve your language. When you are addressing foreign clients, their expectations are completely different. So don't apply the same benchmarks that are there for Indian clients to foreign clients.
That's great. Perfectly said, sir. You have given a very good advice to young members and the students which are sitting in the audience. today's discussion clearly shows that international practice is no longer distant or limited to big firms. It is real, structured, and achievable opportunity for Indian professionals who are willing to evolve their mindsets, systems, and collaborations. On behalf of LIBF, I sincerely thank our esteemed panelists, CA Viral Kanaba sir, CA Harshal Bhutta sir, and CA Anand Bhatia sir, for sharing such practical, honest, and insightful perspective. I also thank all of you for your attention and participation. Thank you, and wishing you all a very enriching convention ahead. Thank you very much.
Despite a certain corrections, many say that Indian equities are still expensive. What's one underestimated trends that could drive long-term equity?
See, I think expensive, cheap is a constant debate that has happened. Now, I will tell you, पिछले 10 साल में Indian equity की जो valuation है, वो 14 से 21 हो गई है. तो structurally Indian equities have gotten more expensive. अभी आप ये भी फैक्ट देखिए, 2 दिन पहले आपका इकोनॉमिक सर्वे का रिजल्ट आया, इंडियन इक्विटी और इंडियन जीडीपी इज ग्रोइंग एट 7%. तो अभी भी इतने जियोपॉलिटिकल केओस के बाद वी रिमेन वन ऑफ द मोस्ट फास्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमीज इन द वर्ल्ड. नाउ आर इंडियन इक्विटी इज एक्सपेंसिव? उसका आंसर इज इट डिपेंड्स. आपका नज़रिया क्या है? अगर आपका 5 साल का नज़रिया है, मुझे लगता है 2025 इंडिया के लिए बहुत बुरा साल रहा है.
At this point of time, या मुझे commodities, any precious metal में मुझे positions बढ़ानी चाहिए, घटानी चाहिए, आपको या तो फिर आपका ऐसा कोई फंड बताइए जो मुझे इक्विटी भी दे, डेट भी दे.
डोंट गो मेक 50% ऑफ योर पोर्टफोलियो गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर. कैसे खरीदना है, मैं आपको 2 कॉन्क्रीट सुझाव दे सकती हूँ. एक तो इंडस्ट्री में गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर के कंबाइंड फंड हैं, हमारा भी है. ऐसे फंड हैं जिसमें 75% गोल्ड है, 25% सिल्वर है, हमारा 50-50 वाला है. आप ऐसा प्रोडक्ट ले सकते हैं. या अगर आपको ये सब नहीं करना, तो ऐसे फंड हैं जिनको हम मल्टी एसेट कहते हैं. हमारा जैसे 65% इक्विटी, 20% गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर, 15% डेट वाला फंड है. आप वो लेके बैठ जाइए. ये 2 चीज़ें आप कॉन्क्रीटली कर सकते हैं.
Super. I think somebody should go for a multi-asset, as is something what you're taking for. If a retail investor follow just few simple rules to build long-term wealth through equities, what they should be?
So rules to build wealth. Firstly, I am not saying this because I am sitting on this stage. They should go find a financial advisor. That advisor will be able to tell them कि उनकी ज़रूरत क्या है. निवेश करने से पहले आपकी निवेश से ज़रूरत क्या है, आपके गोल क्या है, आपकी एपेटाइट क्या है. क्या आप ऐसे बंदे हैं जो आपका पोर्टफोलियो 30% गिर जाएगा तो आपको रात को नींद नहीं आएगी, क्या आप और डालेंगे? वो एक एडवाइज़र आपको बताएगा. आई थिंक रिस्क टेकिंग इज़ अमेजिंग एंड आई थिंक एज अ कंट्री हिंदुस्तानियों की रिस्क टेकिंग एपेटाइट बढ़ रही है और ये बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. हमारी बिजनेस में भी, खुद के बिजनेस में लेने की रिस्क बढ़ रही है, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में भी रिस्क बढ़ रही है. बट देयर इज़ अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन टेकिंग रिस्क एंड सीइंग योर पोर्टफोलियो एवरी डे. देयर आर सम वेरी रिस्क टेकिंग इन्वेस्टर्स आई नो, but seeing your portfolio every day, Jignesh bhai, forces you into action.
Do you see even smart investors make in this space?
Oh, this can be
last question and then.
Oh, this is the last question. This can be a very long answer, but I won't give you a very long answer. I think क्योंकि हम ऐसे दौर में हैं जहाँ इतनी information है, investing एक बहुत social चीज़ हो गई है. It's a little strange, but it's become very social. तो जिग्नेश भाई, आप ऐसे फोरम में आते हैं, आप किसी के पास बैठते हैं, आपको लगता है कि आप अच्छे एडवाइज़र के पास गए, आपके पोर्टफोलियो का रिटर्न 14% है, लेकिन देन यू मीट राम भाई एंड ही सेज मेरे पोर्टफोलियो का रिटर्न तो 21% है. फिर आपको क्या फीलिंग आती है कि मेरे एडवाइज़र ने मेरे साथ धोखा किया है. देन यू आस्क हिम, भाई राम भाई आपने क्या किया 21% कमाने के लिए? एंड देन यू विल फाइंड आउट ही इज़ इन्वेस्टेड इन क्रिप्टो. फिर आपको क्रिप्टो का ऊपर नीचे का कुछ समझ नहीं आता, लेकिन कल आप भी जाके क्रिप्टो की ट्रेड कर देते हैं. एंड इट्स बिकम वेरी सोशल एंड मोस्ट ऑफ लाइफ हैज़ बिकम वेरी सोशल. सो आई ऑलवेज से एक्चुअली इफ यू लुक एट द पोर्टफोलियो रिटर्न्स ऑफ पीपल ऑन एक्स, एवरीबडी इज मेकिंग मनी. इफ यू लुक एट द करियर पोस्ट ऑफ पीपल ऑन लिंक्डइन, एवरीबडी इज गेटिंग अ प्रमोशन. एंड इफ यू लुक एट family photos on Instagram, everyone has a happy marriage. None of this is actually true.
Agreed.
And so my suggestion is don't make this so social. Investing is deeply personal. My husband is also sitting here. I think it is very important, something that he kind of encourages us to do is write down what you want from your money and document that. आप पैसे से क्या चाहते हैं? When do you get nervous? What kind of funds do you want to invest in? What kind of funds you don't want to invest in? You know, parivar mein we have this thing called values, and it is very important. I think have a set of core values and objectives around your money and stick to it, because then you won't get excited by Twitter and Instagram and Excel.
Super. Thank you. I think we have many sessions today on the capital markets. A lot of veterans like Radhika ji is already in the room. We have got Parag Bhai Thakkar, we have got Ashish Bhai Somaiya, we have got Yuvraj Bhai with us, and Nimesh Bhai Chandan. All are there today with us. I would like to call upon Vijay Bhai Karya ji and Yuvraj to please come on the stage and felicitate Radhika ji.
LIBF Expo 2026 leaves us with new learning, stronger connections, and a shared belief in what we can build together.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 World Cup जो है उस हवाले से हमने
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा मसाला।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Himanta Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the country has watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're facing a huge test in your political career with the Assam elections coming up and he's the person Rahul Gandhi is putting up against you?
Arnab, you know Assam. Even I produce a picture
picture of Asim Munir and Gaurav Gogoi, Congress is not going to lose a single vote, because whomever the vote, the section of people who vote for Gaurav Gogoi or Rahul Gandhi in Assam, in any case they will vote only Congress. From that press conference, neither I will gain one vote, neither I will lose one vote.
But you have said some amazing things.
Yes.
You said that you think that Gaurav Gogoi visited Pakistan on an invitation from the ISI. You have said he has gone there for specific training, and some specific training was given to him in Pakistan.
Arnab,
these are national security allegations,
yes,
sir.
Yes. Arnab, today Gaurav Gogoi did a press conference. I do not know whether you know it or no. Do not know it.
Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, thank you very much for joining me today. We are in the middle of a very, very hot parliament session. We're in the middle of a very volatile parliament session. A lot is being said, a lot is being exchanged, a lot of accusations are being made, privilege motions are being moved up, and you're right there in the middle of the action. You're not a traditional politician. You're a technocrat, bureaucrat.
After 9 years of being a minister, you still don't want to allow me to be called a politician. I don't know what qualifies. Oh, well, yeah, I spent 39 years in the civil service, 4 years with an international think tank, and now here. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying this kind of.
That politicians are believed to have thick skin.
Well,
but you didn't start off being a politician, so I presume
no,
you
but
don't have the
listen
thick
to me.
skin to be a politician.
Listen to me. No matter what you do, if you take it seriously, you try and do the best you can. The thickness of your skin is a direct reflection of the kind of people you deal with. Now, when I was a civil servant, I dealt with more benign people. But, you know, as a politician, I have to deal with the honorable leader of the opposition, and dealing with him and the likes of him, you end up developing a thick skin.
In what way?
In what ways? Because, you know, my view, Arnab, is that politics, the essence of politics is freedom of speech. The essence of freedom of speech is discourse. And the essence, core of that is participation. Therefore, if you have an issue, you raise it in Parliament, stand there, let somebody else respond to it. But, you know, earlier I used to describe his brand of politics as shoot and scoot. Now it is spit and fly. Now, if he wants to raise an issue, he is never there. I mean, when he's not traveling abroad and even Parliament is in session, sometimes he's traveling abroad when Parliament is in session. Today, the issue is different. If he thinks someone, a foreign government, has a chokehold on us because XYZ, he has to explain it. Now, going and doing a jiu-jitsu grip posture, so-and-so happened, mixing up apples and oranges, etc. I can tell you as a former trade negotiator, you know, I was a trade negotiator in the year of the Lord, 1981. If you talk about trade deals, this is one of the best phases in India's history. We've got 9 deals, one after the other. 27 members of the EU. We've got a trade deal with the United States. And he says India is sold out. Sold out. And sold out why? Farmers not protected, data not protected, this not happened, that not. Arey bhai, explain to karo. Padh to lo kya likha? Arnab, this is a framework agreement on an interim agreement. There is still stuff to be negotiated. And he's linking it to something in some file somewhere, something in some file somewhere. Somebody has a friend of yours has a case somewhere. Arey bhai, the Prime Minister's mind is not wired to take pressure. I worked with the Prime Minister 9 years. I've been a member of his team, but I've had the privilege of knowing him earlier. And if there is any point of time, post-May 2014, our economy has gone from fragile 10th position to 4th position, going up. And it's shooting up. And he decides to echo somebody's view, it's a dead economy. He says, I decides to say, this is not right. Farmers are against it. Arey bhai, if you are serious about your profession, read what is there. My colleagues who are responsible for trade negotiations said, farmers' interests fully reflected. See what's in the joint statement. Somebody else puts out some sheet and then retracts it today. So all I'm saying is, our parliamentary democracy has two kinds of people: people who dedicate themselves for the Samaj Seva and the transformation of the country, and those who are casual about their work and who provide elements of...
Do I get an impression right that the government has sort of been very indulgent with Rahul Gandhi over the last 10 years?
I think in the past, I think we should let him have it now.
You think you've been too indulgent with Rahul Gandhi in the last 10 years, and now it's sort of fraying at the seams?
No, I think Rahul, Arnab, there is, when you talk about the honorable leader of opposition, I choose my words carefully, there are 2 points of views around, and these are not only in the party. One is that it's good to have a leader of opposition like him. Why? Because A, he provides entertainment value, is not able to pursue any issue seriously. He raises an issue and then he goes completely in another direction. So it's one issue today, and then he'll raise it for about 6-8 hours, then they will go off the tangent and raise another issue. So there are some people who believe it. I personally believe that a government like ours, which has a mandate which is massive, which is in for Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister, on his 3rd term, we deserve a responsible opposition, so that if there is some act of omission or commission we are committing, we should be able to correct it through constructive criticism. I believe in that. Does Mr. Gandhi, will he grow into that role? I don't think. I think it's late in the day. And the Congress party is imploding. There are people in the Congress party who say, "Kahan phas gaye?" If the guys, by the time he finishes the leadership of the party, they'll be too old to contest election. So there's turmoil there. But as far as I'm concerned, I can only wish him the best of luck.
You're in the line of fire as well.
I'm not in the line of fire. I'll tell you something.
You're in the line of fire over these Epstein files. Now, I think that, Mr. Puri, you and I should have an absolutely open and straight conversation on it. You have said yesterday that there are, in 8 years, there is one substantive email. The opposition and others are saying there are 163 mentions as per the US government's Justice Department dedicated to Epstein, where there are references to you. That's not a small number. You've said you met Jeff Epstein only a few times, but the correspondence and exchanges are established much more than that. Now, my question to you is, in what capacity were you in touch with Epstein?
Let me correct you. In the 8 years I was in New York, starting May, June 2009 to 2017, there's a total of 4 meetings with the man. In 8 years, 4 meetings. And the number of references there are, maybe repetition, there one after, if say, Arnab, Hardeep Puri, Navika Kumar, Maria, so-and-so. So if you take one, that's their counting. If I say on record that there are not more than 3 or 4 meetings, or to be charitable, I'll say 4. And the email, what am I discussing? There are 2 things about...
Why are you having email exchanges with a dubious man? You have said yesterday that in the 8 years, allow me, there is 1 email I've exchanged with him. And later you said there's only 1 substantive email. Then went on to say there are 1 or 2 others. This clouds the mind of the public. We must be clear. It sounds... The critics will say this is wishy-washy.
For heaven's sake, let me show you the email. I can recite it from... It's a discussion with Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn. And I'm a private citizen. When I'm put in touch with him and I meet him in Los Angeles, I'm saying that India presents a great opportunity for digital innovation, for internet penetration, for Make in India, Digital India. Epstein is about wrongdoing. Epstein, there are things in the Epstein files which are about criminal wrongdoing, which the FBI is chasing to bring justice to the victims of those things. This has got nothing to do with that. This is about somebody who's a private citizen saying India under Modi presents great opportunities. So please, somebody of your standing, Arnab, read the email. I remember it offhand. I can even tell you, read the email in its entirety. There's nothing about...
How do you assume I have not read it?
I have. Then I'm surprised you asking a question.
No, but may I ask you a follow-up?
Yeah, please.
If it is Reid Hoffman, you are Hardeep Puri, you are India's ambassador to the UN.
No, I'm not. I'm a private citizen at that point of time.
You're a private...
I ceased being India's ambassador in March 2013. This is an exchange of October 2014. 1 year and 6 months later.
You are saying you're pushing Digital India.
Yeah.
How did Epstein know that the Reid Hoffman meeting was scheduled?
I told you...
What was his role in it?
No, I explained that. And let me explain it to you because you have hopefully more following. But I thought others have become very clear on it. I go there as part of a delegation of the Independent Commission on Multilateralism. I'm the Secretary General. A former Prime Minister of Australia is the chair of that. In that meeting, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. He sends an email to POTUS, this is legal counsel. Legal counsel means a lawyer. POTUS is President of the United States, saying, tell POTUS to come for the high-level climate summit. A lot of important people will be there. Gordon Brown, Prime Minister of UK, President of Mongolia, XYZ. And he says, Hardeep Puri of India. He doesn't know me. He's heard of me because he's met me 1 or 2 times. And he suggests that Reid Hoffman meet me. So he sets up a meeting through somebody, I don't know who it is. I meet Reid Hoffman and I copy him. And what am I telling Reid Hoffman? He's asked me, did you persuade Reid to go to India?
No, he says, and you've been very uncharitable, you just said I have not read the email.
No, I'm glad you're reading it. Then let's read the thing.
Why did you say that I have not read the email?
Because anyone who's read it would know that I'm pushing Digital India, I'm pushing Make in India.
I know
and
that.
Before
I
it is
I know that, but you know I never do interviews without going through the stuff.
No, I know that. That's why I've known you, because you and I went to the same college. You're known for due diligence. That's why you have such a standing.
We were part of the same debating society as well. But my question is, he writes to you on 4th October 2014.
Yeah.
He says, tell him you will organize his trip to India to meet with science and tech people and social networking gurus. My question is, under what authority does Jeff Epstein tell you to organize a meeting for the LinkedIn chief?
Jeff Epstein in 2014 is somebody who's known to everybody. Somebody asked me, didn't you know who he was? No, I didn't know who he was. In 2008, he had some problem in Florida and he served house arrest. But in 2014...
That's my question. That's my question. In 2008, allow me.
Can I complete this? 2014, when I meet him, he's meeting the whole world. He's meeting heads of state, heads of government. He's meeting prime ministers and president. At that stage, when we found out that there is something wrong with the guy who's more controversial, in my first meeting, I had a sense of unease.
What sense of unease?
I'll tell you, when my boss then, Terry Rod Larson, turned around and said, I want to take you and the chairman of the thing and the members of the board of highly respectable people to a evening event somewhere. I said, where? You know, he jokingly said, I won't tell you because you'll Google the place and you might not come. So I said, and how will I reach a place if you don't tell me where it is? So he said, Anna, the driver will bring you there. Then I asked Anna, what is the address you're taking out? I don't think she also knows. I Googled the address and I told my other colleagues, should we go? They said, well, you're going as part of a group. And he refers to that. There are a lot of people in that evening. I don't know if it's the same event, but my first meeting was, there is Woody Allen there. There is a prime minister of some ex-prime minister there. There are, Kevin Rudd, his name is mentioned, Prime Minister of Australia. I'm there. After a little while, you sit there, have that, and you come away. Now, in 8 years, you've met this guy 4 times. Yes, he says, meet somebody called Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is a very respectable man. He is the founder of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I send them a detailed mail saying, please go and invest in or look at India. What are the arguments I use?
No, I know the arguments you're using.
Then I
know the arguments you're using. Mr. Puri, this constant assumption by you that I have come to meet you without reading the emails is absolutely wrong, because I've seen the arguments, but I still have a follow-up question. Am I allowed to ask the follow-up?
You're allowed to ask any question.
Yes.
If after reading the email, you still come back to who Epstein was, I know who Epstein was. I discovered lately and I walked away from that.
I'm not questioning your intent, because in that 13th November 2014 email you're writing to Jeff Epstein, CC Reid Hoffman, and you're saying, I briefed you on the discussion with Reid in Silicon Valley, SoftBank investing 10 billion in the Indian e-commerce space, Prime Minister Modi's focus to revive the Indian economy, Make in India, India's 200 million internet users, digital infrastructure rollout plans. So you're not pushing any personal agenda. You're pushing
personal agenda.
You're pitching Make in India. Now, my question to you is only this, and this question you must answer, that why Jeff Epstein? Because
it's a very simple thing.
Because you're saying that everybody in New York knew him. He was a very prominent member
in 2014, they didn't have this kind of doubts. But as the time goes on, a lot of us left the place.
No, but in 2008, he had pleaded guilty to state charges of solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of prostitution with a minor under the age of 18 and was sentenced to 18 months in minimum security facility. So he was drenched
in house arrest. He was in house arrest.
He was drenched in muck.
By the way, in 2008, what happened in Florida, if it had been known in New York in 2008 or 9, some of the guys wouldn't have been talking to him. This is my view.
Some of the guys?
People who was meeting...
So you're saying he was very much back and he was active?
No, as far as I'm concerned, when I got to know really who he was or what the other...
were you using him as a bridge to Silicon Valley figures to push the India story?
Not at all. When I retired in 2013, I had plans of, doing something different in life. And in one of those moments, I met Reid Hoffman. But by the way, I was also looking at the solar system, etc. But that's not part of this. It just so happened that this guy was part of the introduction. So that's why I'm sending a message to Reid Hoffman to him. But once we found out who he was, we switched off.
When did you know that?
Well, immediately thereafter. I mean, when, details, there's a rumor mill also which goes around. This is the same guy. You check up who he is. As I said, first meeting also, one was ambushed. I checked up. Later on, by the way, the person who introduced me, Terrier Rod Larson, was sacked by the IPI. And, by the way, there was an exchange between Epstein and Terrier Rod Larson. Epstein refers to me in 2015 and he says two-faced. Arnab, this is important. Two-faced, ? And Terrier Rod Larson, who was finally sacked from the IPI, says, if you meet an Indian and a snake, kill the Indian first. And therefore, my standing with both these guys, and that's why, if I were a beneficiary of that, I was not getting anything out of it. I was part of the independent commission, which was a project of the IPI to see if the UN was...
So Terrier Lord Larson, what was he fuming about India on December 25th, 2015, within an email thread involving Jeff Epstein, with whom you had scheduled meetings and coffee conversation? Terrier Lord Larson says, have you heard the saying, when you meet an Indian and a snake, kill the Indian first?
Yeah.
This remark appears in an email chain that includes correspondence about you earlier in 2015 regarding meeting and coffee conversation. What was the immediate context of the remark? What discussion, disagreement or subject involving India as an Indian individual?
Well, I'll tell you something. The fact that I was referred to as two-faced by a man like Epstein, which clearly I found out later when these emails came, it was a great sense of reassurance to me.
Why?
Because I had a dislike for the guy.
You had a dislike?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He is a international figure. First time I met him, I went part of a delegation. Second time, whatever it is, he is boasting that he knows me. But after a while, when you find out that the guy was involved in something in the past, it's very difficult to ask, 2008 this happened. Yeah, I went in 2009. I had nothing to do in 2008 there. In 2009, I had no clue to who Epstein was till 2013. But look, I don't need to defend myself on this. Because even the strongest allegation is not saying that this is part of some sex or other operation. Why were you in touch with him? Yeah, Arnab, I'm 73 years old. I have been in touch with terrorists. I have been in touch with all kinds of people. That's all professional, this thing. As a young first secretary, I was sent to Jaffna.
Which terrorist? Which terrorist?
Velupale Prabhakaran. I was the one sent to bring him to India. Does that make me a terrorist? I was the one who went and had secret contacts with Prabhakaran and Jaffna. Look, this is part of one's professional thing. You have interviewed a lot of interesting people in the world. Nobody, I think, dares ask you the question, why did you interview that guy? He has a shady reputation. My God, the more the shadier the reputation, the more fun an interview can be. But today, my context here is not what that guy is associated with me. My context is I'm pushing the India story, for heaven's sake. And I'm smelling of roses on that.
Are you feeling vulnerable?
Not at all. I'm enjoying myself.
You see the opposition is going to go after you. I get a feeling from the kind of messages and exchanges. They're having a good time. They're going to take every email of yours, put tweets out on it. How are you going to fight this? Because can I ask you very frankly? Yesterday, Rahul Gandhi said there is this businessman, Anil Ambani. Why is he not in jail? I would like to ask Hardeep Puri.
Ask Hardeep Puri, but Hardeep Puri, not about Anil Ambani.
I know who introduced him and Hardeep Puri knows who introduced him. Who introduced him?
Terry Rod Larson, who was the president of the IPI. I was in a project of the IPI.
So what is?
No, let me tell.
Are you in the line? I mean, do you see the opposition would want a scalp?
Oh, come on. I am smelling of roses and the opposition knows it.
How are you going to fight this, Hardeep Puri?
There is nothing to fight here. If I am saying I am peddling India, I wear that as a badge of honor. And by the way, the question, Rahul Gandhi said, who introduced him? Then that shrieking Jain, Supriya Srinath and Pawan Khera asked who introduced. I said, Terry Rod Larson introduced. That is all. That is all there is. And I have never denied that I met somebody. I provided you the context. Am I vulnerable? No, I've never felt better.
Mahua Moitra publicly posted an email about how J.F. Epstein asked for a visa for his assistant to attend a wedding in India, and you wrote to Pramod, I think Ambassador retired Pramod Brajaj, confirming assistance and outlining the formal application route. Now, can you clarify what happened? Now, Mahua Moitra says you called her and asked her to delete the tweet containing this message, and that you told her that if people come after me now, he won't be able to help it, unquote. Did you make such a call?
Let me first of all separate the two things. One is the visa request.
Yes.
A visa request comes to somebody who served as India's ambassador.
Yes.
The Indian ambassador replies, put them in touch with, I have nothing to do with visa, I'm a retired ambassador. And that guy says, apply online. What can be more straightforward than that? You are told that somebody says, can you help me with a visa? He said, this is the procedure online, you apply and you get the visa or you'll be rejected. That's all. That's nothing. Insofar as Mahua Moitra is concerned, I've had the dubious distinction of knowing her for a long time. I don't want to use words which are unparliamentary. She's a serving member. She is not just economical with the truth. She's also inventive. All I asked her was, you use the word pimp. Pimp has sexual connotation. That I was pimping for the Prime Minister. Okay? I asked her, have you read the email?
She used that word?
She used that word in a tweet. That's why I said. And Arnab, I called her just to ask her, since I knew her well, have you read the tweet? Have you read the email? Have you read it? And she was going on and on. Sir. I said, don't sir me, I have a name. If you've read it, all I'm saying is, I am disappointed. That was my exchange with her. About people coming after her or coming after me, listen, there is something very obvious. Mahua Moitra is in the line of fire on 101 things. Yesterday, somebody in the BJP made some tweet on her. She appeared before the Ethics Committee because, all MPs have a handle, which they give for asking Parliament questions. And she said nobody in our staff speaks English. So she gave the handle to somebody else who was asking questions, and that guy was asking questions which are on the business interests of that man. So please, I don't want to get into it. She's got enough to handle on her own. As far as I'm concerned, things like Mahua Moitra calling me XYZ, I also wear as a badge of honor because my life is an open book, 39 years in the Foreign Service. When I went to New York, we won the Security Council election with a record, 183 out of 186 seats, okay, votes we got. My rest of it is also there, whether I was in the X ministry, Y ministry, I did 7 years of housing and urban affairs, I've done civil aviation. My record is an open book. And as far as Mahua Moitra is concerned, he will be dealt with by the party. She has abusive 6 tweets every day.
You are clearly now, whether it is because of your ability, your position, or your importance in the Modi government, you are in the middle of what you call innuendo politics or smear campaign, and whatever I see, targeting is happening. Why don't you take some legal action? You see, I am curious about this. Why don't you take some legal action against your political opponents in what they are saying? Isn't it advisable for you to do that? First question. Second, simply, does the government, does the Prime Minister have your back? You have the full support of the Prime Minister and the government in this because you're being targeted, Mr. Puri, and you're not a private citizen anymore. You are a very important union.
What am I targeted for? For advocating India's cause?
Whatever you're being targeted for.
No. Let's be very clear. I'm not a private citizen. I don't do anything on my own.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. So if I do something, I do it with full responsibility. Secondly, what about legal this thing? You know, when I was in the service, I was known as the most litigious so-and-so. I won't use that word because it was a polite term. You know, I won a defamation case against somebody in the UK. That person also ended up putting to, he's misogynist, he doesn't like women. So somebody reminded her, you ended up issuing an apology. You ended up posting the apology. You ended up paying £20,000 in cost to his lawyers. Immediately.
Where is the litigious Hardeep Puri now? Why is he taking it on the chin?
You see what
Why is he not fighting back legally?
Hold on. You saw what happened to Mr. Saket Gokhale? 50 lakhs in damages he has to pay, unconditional apology. Although it's against my wife, but it was aimed at me. He told everybody...
Why don't you go litigious against Rahul Gandhi and Mahua Moitra?
What about Rahul Gandhi? What did he say in Parliament? All he said was, who introduced Hardeep Puri? Listen to me.
But if they cross the line beyond...
No, I'm waiting. There's an expression in the English language I use somewhere. Come into my parlor, said the... What does it tell me?
Said the spider to the fly.
To the spider to the fly. So come, we'll see. I mean, all...
What do you mean come, we'll see?
Come, let's have some fun.
What fun?
No, let them come up once over, calling me a pimp, etc. Whether I want to take legal action or I want to tell her what that word means in the context of others' activities. I'm not even naming her. Let's have some fun.
You're willing to hit back, you're saying?
Okay.
Are you held back by your position?
Not at all. I feel supremely free. And I'll tell you something. I never do anything if I'm not sure about myself. And facing the most fierce interlocutor on television on a day like this, a lot of people say, don't give interview. I said, why not? I said, they'll bring up the Epstein file. I said, I want more and more Epstein files to be aired. I want it to be in the public domain. When they read as R-E-I-D or read R-E-A-D, when they read what I wrote to read, on which this so-and-so is copied, they'll say, in the midst of all that storm, there is one guy standing up for India. I was talking about digital India, Make in India, at least 8 months before it was launched. I am having this discussion in 2014. Most of these missions, Digital India and all, are launched in 2015.
You're saying you're not going to be blackmailed on this issue?
Blackmail, kya karega yaar, come, as I said.
Is Rahul Gandhi blackmailing? Has he spoken to you personally? Have you had a off-record, any discussion in the corridors of Parliament or anything?
Can you tell me about?
Get
to know Rahul Gandhi. He walked up to me on 26th November on Samvidhan Divas.
Okay.
He came up to me and winked.
Winked?
One, I don't know, left eye, right eye, I'm just trying to stay where he was. Then when he winked a second time, I smiled, I asked him, name is come in interesting places.
Name is?
Your name is in interesting places.
Rahul Gandhi said that to you?
So I said, would you like to know what the context is? I said, you want me to send you a note? He said, So I sent him a note. Exactly what I said in the press conference.
You sent him a note?
I sent exactly what I said in the press conference. So today, I was sitting in Parliament when in the Rajya Sabha, I had a dear friend who's also a colleague who said, Ki aapne acha, he said something Hindi which I can't repeat here. You had great fun yesterday in the press conference. Then I told him, I said, I'd even actually sent him a note. I could have spared him because I wanted to spare him making a ass of himself. He said, but do you know something? And this is a guy who had been in the Congress party. He said, do you know something? I said, no. He said, never reads. So what happens is, if he's going into something, somebody tells him, you remember, did you see that interview on why a motorcycle weighs 150 kilograms and why a...
Speech, unfortunately. It was a speech, unfortunately.
Well, it's not a statement.
About a motorcycle.
A motorcycle and car weight. I mean, if somebody, I've always maintained...
But I'm finding it very interesting that on the 25th or 26th of November, on